Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video, and it's Saturday, and it is Saturday this time, so I'm here to upload my slasher review for the TheHORROrmans Slashback Slasher Challenge series, and this week's theme is masked or maniacal slashers. So Joe wanted us to review a slasher movie which featured a killer dressed in a really awesome mask. So I've decided to go with this movie right here, Gutterballs. Now perhaps some of you haven't heard of this one, but I'm sure a few of you had. Joe, I'm sure you've seen this one, I'm sure. But yeah, Gutterballs is a pretty full-on slasher, which we will get to throughout this review. But before we get into that though, the plot behind this one is it basically centers around a group of people in a bowling alley, and they're getting killed off one by one by a masked killer within this bowling alley. So that is pretty much the plot to this one. There's not really anything more to it than that really, and there's not a lot of story within this movie either. So yeah, that's essentially the rundown of what this movie is all about. So now we'll move on to my thoughts on Gutterballs. So Gutterballs is a extreme slasher. I would definitely consider this one to be more on the extreme side, especially compared to a lot of other slashers out there. It is pretty hardcore, pretty hard going, and very full on. But I do really enjoy this one a lot. There's a few things where I kind of wish they'd toned down a little bit, which we will get to in this review, but for the most part I think this is really good. So this is kind of a more low budget independent slasher film, and first and foremost we'll talk a little bit about the location. So the location is really what makes this movie. I think it's an absolutely awesome location for a slasher film. Not only does it have a sort of sense of confinement within this one particular location, but the kills really work well for the location as well. So this obviously is centered within a bowling alley. Pretty much the entire movie is within this bowling alley, which I think is pretty awesome. I'm a massive fan of Tenpin bowling, so the location is awesome. Next we'll talk a little bit about the characters, and this is where the movie is a little bit hit and miss for me. There's a lot of arsehole characters within this movie, just characters that I absolutely despised. There's also some good characters that I didn't mind either, but yeah, for the most part a lot of the characters are pretty annoying, and I was basically just waiting for them to get killed, and it was pretty satisfying when some of them did. So yeah, the characters, the acting, a little bit hit and miss for me, but it is low budget and it is independent, so you have to keep that in mind. I really like the killer a lot in this one, and the mask is obviously why I chose it for this week's particular theme. Now there's a picture of him on the back of the DVD, but I cannot show that because there's some nudity on the back of the DVD as well, and I don't want to get in trouble from YouTube with that, so I'm going to insert a picture right now of the mask and what the killer looks like. I love the mask. It's very simplistic, but I'm a massive fan of slasher films where the mask kind of fits the theme of the movie, and this one does perfectly because, as you can see, the mask is a bowling bag, so obviously it fits the movie and the theme really well. Plus I like the basic bowling outfit as well as the mask. So yeah, I think the mask is cool. It's something completely different and original, and as I said, it definitely fits the theme for this movie. The kills, I really like the kills within this movie. They're pretty graphic, there's good variety, and they don't shy away from the gore, that's for sure. So yeah, the kills are on point, and there's a pretty decent body count. Now I do have a few issues with this movie. One is the dialogue. There is so many F-bombs and swear words used throughout this movie. It is just plain excessive. I don't mind swearing, but there's a point where it just becomes a little bit too much, and it certainly does become a little bit too much within this movie. So I kind of wish they'd toned down on that a little bit as well. There's some themes throughout this movie that I'm not a particular big fan of. There's a very, very graphic and pretty brutal rape scene at the beginning of the film. Not a fan of that. But yeah, that all really harkens back to what I mentioned before. This is extreme. So it's not for the faint of heart, honestly. It's definitely very, very hard-hitting, very full-on, and pretty extreme by slasher standards. So yeah, maybe go into this movie pretty cautiously, but you know, if you want to ramp things up, if you're ready for something a little bit more extreme when it comes to a slasher movie, definitely check Gutterballs out. So that is pretty much my review, apart from a few issues that I have with this film. Overall, I really, really enjoy this one a lot. The location's great, it's pretty unique and different, has good variety in terms of the kills, really, really good gore, and the kill is pretty awesome as well. So yeah, if you've seen Gutterballs, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And if you haven't seen this one, I would definitely recommend it, but as I said, it is pretty extreme and it is pretty full on, so maybe go in with a bit of caution on this one. Okay, so one thing that I did forget to mention, and I just remembered it when I finished filming, so I'll just throw it in now. You guys may have noticed from the cover that this sort of has a homage cover to Halloween, and you would be right. So there were a few different releases with artwork like this. I think there was 4, maybe 5. There's 4 that I definitely know of. So there's this one, which is obviously the cover, a homage cover to Halloween. There was a Maniac cover, a I Spit on Your Grave cover, and a Happy Birthday to Me cover, I believe. So I just wanted to mention that in case some of you guys were curious. So that's that. Anyway guys, that is it for this week's review. Until next Saturday when I'll be back with another one. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and thank you for watching.